Alright, YouTube. I know it's been a long time. It's been, shoot, almost 6 months. I have been crazy busy. Just a whole bunch of different stuff. I'm going to walk you through all of it, show you what I've been doing, what I haven't been doing. And then I've got quite a few things I'm going to be filming today. And I'll be going up in several different videos. First, this video, just going to be a general update on what I've been doing for the last 5 months. I know definitely my most popular videos so far have been on the Sears and then on the Caltech P32. I'm not going to do the update on the P32 quite yet. Just I'm filming this the day before Michigan deer hunting gun season starts, and I'm going to be a little bit busy. I will eventually get around to doing the part 2 for that, as I've talked about in the comment section on the first video. I have just a bunch of different ammo for it, hollow points and full metal jacket. I've got a new holster that I've been trying out with it, because I have been shooting it a little bit, not a lot. And I'll give you guys the full rundown on this pistol. You guys are really going to like it. I've got another new pistol video coming up of another one that I just bought. I'm going to run through another video on sighting in your deer hunting weapons. And then, yeah, but for now, let's start with the general update. Another thing, I can't show you the Sears yet, because like the P32, I have not done nearly enough to go any further with that video. I want to wait till the thing's ready and running so I can really show you everything that I've done with it. But mainly I have been working on another project, and I'll show you that here in a minute. If you look around, you can see that the old garage is pretty empty. You can see there's an extra transmission there for the Sears. Ooh, there's a peak. But most of the stuff I used to have in here is gone. And where did it go, you say? Well, I'm going to show you. Now, I'm not sure if I've had this in any of my other videos or not, but I actually had started filming a series when it was getting built, and the videos didn't turn out very good. It was right when I first got my camera and started doing YouTube, and so they're really not worthy of posting. But this is my new shop. It's a 40 by 60 pole barn, and yeah, let's just say I'll be paying for the next several years on this thing. You can see here it's got this nice lean-to for barbecuing and stuff, and sit under. Go ahead and give you guys the shop tour here. Sorry about walking around with the camera, but there's no other real way to do this. Alright. Now, I really haven't done the decorating yet, as far as like making shelves and benches, and pretty much just got it done and started working out here, because there's so much more room than the garage. Sort of start where we left off with the last video, where I was actually working on some stuff. Here, I've got the finished snowblower for my John Deere 345, and if you look, it turned out really excellent. I ended up fixing the broken spot. I ended up welding over that cover there. You can see where there was a hole. Repainted everything. I ended up replacing both bearings, and I'm going to try and zoom in here as good as I can. You can see where I welded in this flange here that holds the bearings, which I ended up chipping the paint up a little bit trying to get the darn thing in, because I didn't take into account that welding in that extra little piece of metal there is reducing some of the area you've got to put the auger back in the housing. So that was kind of tight, but I did end up getting it. You can see I reversed the wear bar here, and I added a wear plate. And then I did drill the holes for the flapper mod, but I haven't added the rubber flappers yet. Figure I'll do that when it gets closer to snowblower season. But yeah, still got the the Hobart 140. Still like it. May actually at some point sell this and get a bigger MIG welder. I've still been that's another thing I've been doing. I'm in the middle of my second welding class now, doing MIG and TIG. The first one was oxy and stick welding. So after doing all that stuff, I think really what I need is just a really big MIG welder. The barn's wired for 220, so it's not really that much of a stretch. Pretty much I just need to sell this one and get another one. Got this nice, this is actually like a map and blueprint case. I got it at like a school auction, and I'm going to use that as my toolbox, so it's pretty sweet. Yeah, nothing's really changed with the four-wheeler. The darn battery went out for the second time in this thing. The batteries for these are just junk. The 345 has been a nightmare. Really not going to go into that, but basically a carburetor, a fuel pump, a water pump, and $1,100 later, and it seems to be running okay. Just give me an idea. Some more furniture from this school auction has really come in handy. This desk and filing cabinets and all this stuff. You can see I had them do this kind of a late thing, otherwise I probably wouldn't have put the window there. Duh. But I had them do this loft in the back, which has been really awesome. And you can see it just comes out to the first post of the barn. But so it's not very wide, but it is the whole width of the barn, which the barn is 40 by 60. So I'll go up here real quick. You can see it just gives you a ton of storage space. Get all the little crap and all your Christmas decorations and boxes, and give you a bird's eye view of this place. But as you can see, there's some new projects, and the one that has been really taking up my time. This is my John Deere 950. I think this has been maybe in some of the other videos. I've never really focused on it. And really, I haven't focused on it, period. I've fixed a few things enough to do basic stuff. The main thing is the PTO clutch is messed up on this tractor. And so I really can't do a lot with it. I use it to move my trailer around the yard, and I'll use the back blade to do some grading and stuff. But that's about it for now. I do have implements for it. Quite a few actually, but until the PTO is fixed, really can't do a whole lot with a lot of those. So, but let's get on to the main event here. What I have been doing for the last 5 months is this. This is my 95 Jeep Wrangler, and I'll throw in some pictures of when I first got it. So really that's all I have. I've been kicking myself ever since. When I got this, I didn't really plan on doing that much work to it. I didn't really know that much about Jeeps, even though I thought I did. And as you can see now, I've been going through it and changing a lot. I wish I had pictures, particularly in some video. I wish I'd have done a whole set of videos on this, because it'd be 30 parts long, all the stuff I've done to this thing. I really wish that I had done that, because they would be excellent videos and cover a lot of stuff that, believe it or not, is not actually on YouTube, because trust me, I looked when I was trying to do some of this stuff. But this is a 95 YJ. It was a Maryland vehicle, so as you can see here, there's a little bit of rust here and a little bit here. And other than that, the body is completely straight and the frame is completely straight. I actually did this here. That was me. Ended up clipping a tree out in the woods like an idiot. And then there's a little bit of rust underneath that windshield frame there, and the windshield's broken. But right here in these boxes, you can see I've got a new fender, a new windshield frame, and I've actually got a new windshield sitting back there too. So that will be getting professionally done. But everything else I have done on this Jeep. I really wish I had video of particularly the interior, because let's face it, I started from scratch. I took everything down to the bare metal. It had this nasty tan interior with greasy, gross carpet, and I took all that out, down to the bare metal, all the seats, seat belts, everything. I cleaned up. There was one teeny spot of rust around the drain hole in the driver's side floor. I cleaned that up top and bottom. I bed-linered, spray-in bed-liner, not the roll-on stuff. I find the spray-in is thinner, and for an application like this, it really is better. The chunks in it aren't quite so big. The roll-on, you have problems where your seat bolts and other stuff like that go. It's like there's not enough tolerance left there. It's like it's too tight. So I used the spray cans, just the Rust-Oleum brand, and it actually turned out really well. You can see right here, I haven't put the center console in. It's pretty dark, but I've got that good Rhino liner coating. I bought some fitted carpet to go in it, this charcoal color, which that was a nightmare, let me just tell you. As we do some more Jeep videos, I'm going to go through and tell you some more of the brands and some of the part numbers, some of the stuff that I did, but that carpet was a nightmare. The seats were in good condition. There was a couple cracks in the driver's side, pretty typical. I got these fitted neoprene seat covers with the tan middle, so the dash and the door panels don't look that much out of place. I couldn't do tan interior. I really hate it. And the original top was tan, obviously, on this green Jeep, so now it is black. And the roll bar cover's black. The new visors are black. The center console was broken, and I've got a really awesome idea for a custom one that I'm going to be doing, and I'll make probably a couple of videos on that when I actually get around to it. That's the only thing really in the interior that I haven't done yet, other than some other kind of difficult stuff. I need a new radio, and there's some electrical issues that I need to accomplish. The temperature gauge reads really low, and there's something wrong with the headlight dimmer switch, but I'll get to that once I get everything else done and can drive it and maybe take it to a shop if I need to, because so far I have not taken this thing to a single shop. I have done all this myself, which for me, I mean, that's pretty awesome. I mean, I've done some work on vehicles, but never anything like this. You can see back here, that's the brand of the carpet, bed rug. I put all new seat belts in. Obviously the new soft top. I had to update the soft top hardware a lot because it was broken in a bunch of places. I relocated the mirrors from the door here up here, so that's a lot nicer. Allows you to take your door off or switch doors without messing with your mirrors. I bought this rear bumper. It's a Pro Comp brand. I really like it. It was hard to put on, but I think they're all going to be hard to put on the way they mount. It's got the hitch here and the two shackles. I've got the spare tire carrier off. It's sitting right here. I repainted that. You see I got the gas tank out. I'm going to replace that fuel pump and sending unit. It works, but it's just really rusty and stuff. And as hard as that tank was to get out, there's no way in hell I'm not just replacing that darn thing now, because I don't want to ever take it out again. You see, I've got Pro Comp, the new MT mutters. I got them on a heck of a sale through Discount Tire Direct. That is definitely the cheapest place to get tires. I bought Skyjacker shocks for it. I did it's a 1 3/4 shackle lift. So what it is, it's just these longer shackles, which I bought on eBay. They're not even from a lift company. You can see they're heavy duty 3/8. And then I bought all greasable bolts and new polyethylene, I think it's called. It's the non-rubber bushings to go in here. So all the bolts are greasable. All the bushings are that upgraded stuff. And then I put the bolts for back here, they're greasable with new bushings as well. You can see I've been painting the underbody, but now it's gotten too cold. I'm going to have to wait till it warms up some to finish that. So I removed the track bars. Those really aren't needed on Jeeps with leaf springs. You can see I got new bushings on the sway bar here and sway bar links, although there's some paint on the link bushings. Let's see here. The front bumper, a friend of mine gave me. He thought it was for a YJ, but actually it's for an XJ. So what I did was I took a section of the front factory bumper, just the section as wide as the frame rails. I added this upper bracket on both pieces to further stabilize it, and then I cut the brackets off because they used to come off like this to go around the frame of an XJ, and then I just welded the stubs to what was left of the front bumper. Welded this plate in here, and as heavy as I welded it, it should definitely still be able to support a winch for the few times that I'll probably ever use a winch, if ever. And so I'm pretty excited with how that bumper turned out. It's awesome, and let's face it, the price was right. think I've got about $4 or $5 worth of steel into it, and 5 or 6 cans of spray paint by the time you count the rust stop primer and the the semi-gloss coat. This is the pan the gas tank was in. This is the main reason I removed it. You can see it's just really rusty, and so I wanted to clean that up and get up under it when I was coating the underside of the vehicle. As I mentioned, it was real rough to get out. I ended up having to cut half the bolts, and as you can see, I'm going to have to weld up some spots there. I had to cut the straps off. I've got new straps there. The steering rack's over here, and actually, believe it or not, all the tie rod type joints were good, but I did buy these polyethylene boots. I've got 2 of the 4 on to replace the rubber boots because they were all smashed down and dry rotted, but the actual joints were still fine. So I believe those are from I can't remember what the darn brand is on those. I want to say Daystar. That might be wrong though. But yeah, as we do some more Jeep videos, I'll tell you all those parts and stuff. You can see here, I mean, front wheel bearings, sections of the old bumpers, axle shafts, brakes all around. I've got new stainless steel. I was trying to keep the brake lines, but as I got messing with them, they broke. They were rusty, they're crappy. So I've got new pre-bent stainless steel brake lines here to go on the Jeep. I've got all new U-joints for the front and rear drive shaft. I've got these lube locker reusable gaskets for the front and rear differential. Dave from Redneck Garage, he put those on his, and as far as I know, they're working out good for him, so I like the idea of that. If you know anything about the YJ, you'll know they've got that central axle disconnect, they call it. Basically, the passenger side, the long side of the front axle shaft is a 2-piece, which I've got right over here, and it connects by a vacuum motor sliding this collet back and forth between this shaft and then this intermediate center shaft here. Well, I live in Michigan where they've got tons of salt, and a real finicky little vacuum motor, you can see it sitting here, that is going to get all full of salt and get messed up and screw my 4-wheel drive up, is not something that's going to stay on my Jeep. So the quick fix for that is to throw that old shaft out and put a solid shaft from a TJ Jeep or one of the later XJs in its place, and you've just got to put a different seal in. So that's what I have here. I replaced the U-joint in it and the slinger seal, they call it, and cleaned everything up, and then this is the driver's side shaft. I did that one too while I was at it. The rims are off of a TJ. My friend that gave me the bumper actually gave me those, so that's awesome. Thank you. The original rims and tires are here. They weren't bad, and the tires had plenty of tread left on them. They're just mystery brand, and I don't trust them. They don't really seem to get very good traction. They were 29s. What is that? 235 75/15s, and the new ones are the 31 950/15 Pro Comps that I already showed you. So yeah, like I said, brakes all around. Yeah, I've got that front differential taken apart right now. I'm getting ready to pull the gears out so I can change that that axle shaft out, like I was talking about. Thinking about ordering Spartan lockers for the front and the rear, since I'm going to have both of the differentials taken apart. So it'll be, you know, the perfect time to put those in. I've got everything to do the rear brakes sitting there, as well as rear axle seals and wheel bearings. So I'm going to be doing that here soon, and try and get all that knocked out before I paint up under there and then put that gas tank back in. So, and you see the new lift shackle there. I've got the greaser taped off, and the one up there. So I've got everything here to redo the exhaust system. I'm just gonna do like a factory style. I mean, it's just the 4-cylinder 5-speed Jeep. I actually think I didn't say that yet. So yeah, that's what it is. 4-cylinder 5-speed. It's got the factory gear ratio in it, 410, 411. I've just got like a factory style muffler here for it, and that's all I'm really going to be doing with that. You're not going to make a 4-cylinder sound mean no matter what you do to it. So, but yeah, I got Skyjacker shocks. I got a Skyjacker, that's it right there, the, what do you call that? Steering stabilizer. It's just an upgraded steering stabilizer shock. Uses the factory mounting points. In the box there, I've got a new mount for the transmission and new bushings for the anti-sway mount for the transmission. Yeah, that's the brand of the bushings and the greasable bolts for the shackle lift. Is that Daystar brand. So I was correct. Hey, I actually remembered something. It's awesome. But yeah, so this is what I've been doing, folks. This Jeep, I've went all through it. Like I said, new interior from the ground up, new top, new all of it. Went all through that front end, partway through the back end, and then I'm going to do the middle last. Drop that pan, the big skid plate that's in the middle here. Replace those transmission, or actually I guess they connect technically to the transfer case. The mounting points, and yeah, do the exhaust while I've got that off of there. And you can see, like I said, this Jeep came from Maryland, and I found it on Craigslist not far from my house, but they had just brought it. They had just got the thing, and it had came from Maryland, and then it was stored in Michigan for like 7 years. So it's got 120,000 miles on the original motor and drivetrain and everything, and it's 1995. So that is not bad. I'm pretty happy with that. I tuned up the engine, new air filter, new fuel filter, all that basic stuff. Didn't do anything fancy with it. I don't plan to do anything fancy with it. Again, it's a 4-cylinder. You're talking a difference of 120 some horsepower versus 140 some horsepower if you do everything you possibly can to one of these motors, so I'm not really going to mess with it. The Jeep was never made to be a powerhouse anyway, not for basic stuff, and I'm definitely not rock crawling with this sucker with my mighty 4-cylinder 1 3/4 inch lift. So lastly, I've always been kind of a hardtop guy on Jeeps, and I found this hardtop. It's from a CJ7, which everyone tells me it'll fit. The only difference is the rear gate here goes down over the tailgate and is held in place by this latch, whereas on the normal YJ and TJ and all the other Jeeps after that, the normal rear gate, you would have the tailgate here open, close the glass, and nothing really retains it, and then the tailgate would close and close over the some tabs and keep the glass closed. So the only real booger about it is you kind of gotta open the tailgate and swing the spare tire out of the way just a little bit, and so you can open this and move it up because they kind of overlap. And if you weren't going to run a spare tire, it'd be fine, but with my luck, I really just better run one. I was considering doing that, but I don't know. As you can see, the thing's in pretty good shape. The latch is busted off. I've got a whole new latch kit sitting over there. I've got to repaint the inside. I don't know if we can get it to where you can see it there at all, but some idiot started painting it black and shit, and like stopped for no apparent reason. So there's that. So I haven't even got to touch that yet. That definitely won't be ready until like next winter, but still, for the price, I couldn't pass it up. Lastly, I have these doors, these hard full doors, which they've got the slider like you can get for the top of the Jeeps with half doors, but this is a solid one-piece fiberglass door, I believe from the Acme company, which was an aftermarket manufacturer. These are also off CJ7. As you can see, they don't have any provisions for a mirror like the CJ7s didn't, because they were mounted like mine are now up on the windshield. So yeah, what I like about these are a full door. They're nice and light. I mean, look, I can damn near pick this thing up with, you know, 2 fingers. The latch, the hinges are off it now. This one was pulled out a little bit. I used some JB Weld and rebuilt that back up, so that should be good and strong. So I gotta just spray these, probably just some flat black spray paint. I got them rekeyed. There was no keys, but other than yeah, get this. UPS dropped one of these darn things and broke the glass out of it. You know, they haven't made this shit since like the early 80s. So I had to go get custom glass made for one of them. Luckily, UPS footed the bill, but still. Man, that made me mad. Yeah, this one is in a little bit better shape, but the inside of the latch, not this side, but the outside plate here. This one looks like it's been replaced, actually, just that outside plate. The other one was really rusty, so I've got that inside in the garage, cleaning that up. And I'll, when I actually get to where I can work on the top and the doors, I'll get that latch fixed. But yeah, you can see I repainted the front diff cover here. Well, I had that off. And yeah, just repainted these brake dust shields, new brakes, like I said, front and rear. So yeah, the thing's gonna be pretty sweet. I mean, for a little 4-cylinder, I'm pretty excited to drive it, but I gotta face the facts. I was really trying to get it done before winter, but I just kept running in, you know. Then the reason I pulled all the front axle apart, I wasn't gonna do the locker and the I was just basically going to do a front axle service, but I noticed that passenger side seal was leaking really bad. And then as I got reading about the central axle disconnect and all that, I'm like, oh, I got to get that crap off my Jeep. So that's where I'm at. You know, it's like anything else. You get into a project, before you know it, so much crap that you hadn't planned on doing or didn't know was wrong, you're doing it. So that's where I'm at with this thing. Something that I thought was going to take me 2 or 3 months and I don't know, about $1,000 is taking me 3 times that in time and money. So yeah, but all right guys, that's what I've been up to for the last 5+ months of my life. Thank you for everybody that subscribes, watches these crappy videos that I put up. And yeah, I sorry for the big absence, but like I said, when I first got this thing, I didn't think it was going to be much of anything worth filming, and so I didn't start filming it. And I've just regretted it ever since, as I've done all this stuff and learned stuff and actually done some really cool work on this thing. I just really wish I would have had all of it on video. So I'm going to start trying to do some of it now. And yeah, with any luck, you guys will like them. Let me know what you think. You want to see more of the Jeep? Let me know in the comments. Basically, when the Jeep's done, I can get back to the Sears. The Sears literally has probably 2 or 3 days worth of good solid work left to be done on it, and then it's finished, it's ready, other than maybe making the bumpers, because I'm gonna make some pretty elaborate bumpers for the thing. But other than that, so as soon as I can get this thing up hopping around, and you know, when it gets real cold this winter, I may not be able to be out here because this thing isn't insulated or heated yet. I may not be able to be out here doing some of this, so I may do some work on the Sears during that time. We'll just have to see. But either way, thanks for watching, and look for some new videos coming up here.